Hello, Legionnaires, and welcome to 10-Minute Introductions, the series where we provide a 10,000-foot overview of a game or game system and try to do it in 10 minutes or less. Today, due to a request that I actually found the time and inclination to honor, we are going to take a look at Alien RPG by Free League Publishing, and hopefully not get face-hugged in the process. If you like these 10-minute introductions, please be sure to like this video, subscribe, and ding-a-ling that bell icon for notifications, and share this video. In Alien RPG by Free League Publishing, you play as a frontier colonist looking for a new life, a space trucker trying to make a buck, a corporate rep trying to climb the corporate ladder, or everyone's favorite, a colonial marine ready to bring peace through superior firepower. Oorah! There are two ways to play Alien. First, there's cinematic play, which allows you to play the game as if you are a character in your own Alien movie. This is a self-contained, one-shot adventure conducted in 3 acts. In each of the acts, you'll have a specific goal your character wants to achieve. Some character goals support or synergize with the goals of other characters, while other goals are in direct opposition to the goals of other characters. Sometimes, allies or enemies in one act can become your enemy or friend in the next. Cinematic play is an amazingly fun way to enjoy the Alien universe and play the Alien RPG, whether at conventions or with your long-standing group. Then, there's campaign play. In campaign play, you create a more traditional RPG group meant to span multiple sessions or even years of gameplay. It's theoretically less intentionally deadly than cinematic play, but I wouldn't relax too much. This is the Alien universe after all. In campaign play, your character gains experience and improves over time, just like every other traditional tabletop RPG. Alright, let's make a character. The first thing you do is choose your career. Is your character a scientist, a roughneck, or a medic? Or are you a more traditional colonial marine, corporate agent, or pilot? There are 9 careers in the core book that provide the overall framework for creating your character. The next thing you'll do is spend points on your 4 attributes: strength, agility, wits, and empathy. You'll have 14 points to spread across those attributes with a range from 2 to 5 in each. From there, you allocate 10 skill points across a total of 12 skills. There's 3 skills for each of the 4 attributes. Obviously, this means you won't be an expert in everything, but you can certainly pick a few skills that allow your character to excel in 1 or 2 areas. As someone who has played various Year Zero engine games, don't let the seemingly low number of skills fool you. The system works wonderfully. To further personalize your character, each career comes with a choice of 3 specialized talents. For example, the officer's talents are Field Commander, Influence, and Pull Rank. At the start of the game, you can only pick one of these talents, but as your character gains experience, you can add additional talents from a pretty extensive list. After this, you will round out your character with a name, appearance, agenda, a buddy, rival, gear, and a signature item which helps reduce stress in cinematic play, and some cash to get you on your way. Okay, so how do we put these characters into action? First, you want to have a set of cards numbered from 1 through 10. Once the action starts, each player draws a card to determine the character's initiative. 1 acts first, 10 acts last. When it's your time to act, your character can perform 1 slow action and 1 fast action, or 2 fast actions. Alien RPG uses 2 types of 6-sided dice: base dice and stress dice. And while there are specialty versions of these dice, any ordinary 6-sided dice will work, though I do suggest that you use 2 different colors or styles to separate the base dice from the stress dice. When you roll a skill roll, you roll a number of 6-sided dice equal to the level of the skill the character is using, plus the level of the character's relevant attribute. These are your base dice. If your character is suffering any stress at the time, you'll add a number of d6s equal to the character's stress level as well. Stress helps your character focus, which explains the additional dice for the skill roll, but it does have a potential negative side effect as well. Let's look at an example. If your character's close combat skill level is 2, and the strength attribute is 4, you will roll 6 base dice. If the character is also suffering from 2 levels of stress, you'll add 2 stress dice to the roll for a total of 8 dice. 6 base dice plus 2 stress dice, to whack someone with the wrench that your character is holding. On those 8 dice, you hope to achieve 1 or more 6s, as each 6 indicates success. If you do that, if you roll just a single 6, the character's action is successful. In this example, your character successfully strikes the target with a wrench. Any additional 6s beyond the first inflict additional effects, such as more damage, disarm the target, and so forth. If the roll does not result in any 6s, or if you don't achieve enough 6s for the specific effect you want, and none of the stress dice show a 1, you can push your roll. More on that later. To be clear, base dice that roll 1s do not matter. However, if any of your stress dice come up as a 1, you cannot push your roll and you trigger a panic roll. Pushing your roll is essentially an immediate reroll of a failed action, but it comes at a price. Let's imagine you rolled those 8 dice for that close combat wrench attack, and you were unlucky enough to achieve 0 successes. Not a single 6 appeared on any die, and no 1s appeared on the stress dice, so you decide to push your roll. First, find any die that rolled a 6 on the original skill roll and move those to the side. Remember, your 6s are successes, and you don't want to lose those. In our example, you rolled no 6s, so you set none of the dice aside. The next thing you need to do is add 1 level of stress to your character. Yes, that will actually add 1 additional stress die to this reroll. You'll roll the same 6 base dice, but now you roll 3 stress dice for a total of 9 dice. Now roll those dice. Any new 6s are added to the original success total, even if, in our case, that original total is 0. So if you achieve 0 successes on the original skill roll, but when you push the roll you achieve 3 successes, you now have a total of 0 plus 3 equals 3 successes. Once again, look at those stress dice. If any of them show a 1, you must make a panic roll. Because it's fun, let's say one of those 3 stress dice did come up as a 1. Now you get to make a panic roll. Roll a single d6 and add your current stress level to the result. For our example, roll a d6 and add 3 to the result of the roll. If the d6 roll is a 5, the total panic roll result is 8. A result of 8 reads, you start to tremble uncontrollably. All skill rolls using agility suffer a -2 modification until your panic stops. This means you roll 2 fewer base dice for any agility skill roll, such as ranged combat, driving, and mobility, until you're able to stop the panic. You can stop a character's panic effect through a successful command skill roll, incapacitating the character, called broken in game terms, or if the character is simply able to take 5 to 10 minutes to calm down. There are also ways of reducing a character's overall stress level, such as resting and drugs, that you can discover in the game. Space is a hell of a place. Okay, so what do you do in Alien RPG? Well, there are 3 core themes in the Alien RPG: space horror, science fiction action, and a sense of wonder from alien worlds, artifacts, and the vastness of the unknown. Part of what you do depends on if you're playing in cinematic or campaign mode, and if in campaign mode, if the party is made up of frontier colonists, space truckers, or colonial marines. Frontier colonists will usually have to deal more with limited supplies, corporate manipulation, and local politics. Of course, someone will want to explore those mysterious caverns, right? And what the heck is causing those strange power anomalies? How do you set up a rescue operation when the only supply ship you will see for weeks just crashed nearby? And you know dang well that smoking hull will unleash a terrible secondary effect, fire, poisonous spores, a few facehuggers, who knows? Space truckers will probably have challenges related to space travel, alien tech, and getting paid. That junker you call a freighter is always on the fritz, and when you're stuck in a thin metal tube in space, you better know things are working. By the way, what's in that crate with all the biohazard labels? Maybe you should have read that NDA a little closer, huh? Thank you for delivering safely. Now stand by as the authorities arrest you for smuggling contraband. Paid? No, I don't pay criminals. Then again, maybe we can reach an agreement that benefits us both. Colonial Marines, well, their job is to kill people and break things. And they do that better than anyone in the known systems, especially the killing and the breaking. Really, Colonial Marines have all the same problems as the others. They just get a bit more firepower to distract them from the subtle horrors of the corporation. A Marine is out of food, give him a knife and something that goes boom, and you'll have a feast for a week. Just don't ask him what it was. Of course, Any of those challenges, as well as many, many more, can happen to any type of group. Space is hell, and it always wants you dead. So whatever your reasons for being out there, they're going to drive your character towards success or death. And always remember, corporations have more power than any government, so no one ever gets away from their machinations. What other types of adventures can you think of for your Alien RPG cinematic or campaign sessions? Let me know in the comments, as well as your thoughts on this video. I haven't done one of these 10-minute intros in at least a couple of years, and I'm really interested in your thoughts. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video because sharing is caring. Catch a Legion Myth live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Central for RPG Digest. Join us for read-throughs, deep dives, overviews, and fundamentals of tabletop RPGs and systems. Then join us live on Fridays at 6 p.m. Central for Game Master Insight. Our panel tackles hot topics, debates ideas, and offers tips to level up your tabletop RPG sessions. You don't want to miss out. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.